out. There we go. Okay, and then of course, one last thing, you might hear a bell in the very beginning occasionally as people join the meeting a little bit late. Just stay in your flow if that happens. And as always, let's get started by finding a comfortable seat on the mat. You two are going to have to move. Just go on. There we go. Okay. So find a comfortable position for your body. In some bodies, sitting with your legs folded like this feels good. In others, you can have your legs up. What's most important is just finding a point of stillness where you can settle for a moment. Once you've found that place, allow your eyes to gently close and begin to cultivate some nice, deep belly breaths, really breathing from the center of your being. And as you breathe, as you begin to slow down into this space, let's begin to find some gentle movement to go along with that breath. So on your inhale, roll your spine out nice and long, sit tall on your mat, and then exhale, soften, melt. Inhaling again, feeling that beautiful breath cycle rolling you out. And exhaling to soften. And let's feel just a few more of those, of breath and body moving together. Now on your next inhale, sweep your right arm across in front of you and then all the way up and over and down. So really full range of motion through that shoulder. Inhale, the left arm across, up and over, and exhale down. Inhaling on the right, across, up and over and down, and left. Let me just continue to follow this pattern on your breath, starting to open through the shoulders, the upper back, maybe feeling a nice little stretch in there. Now, as you breathe, as you move, begin to listen to your body, to really tune into the sensations that are coming from it. And if you notice that it would feel good to linger in part of the stretch, or even to add on or change the pattern, and go ahead and follow those instincts, right? Allow this space to become a sort of a guided movement into more of an intuitive movement. Really just honoring where your body is this morning and what it would need to feel in order to help release tension. And then from this intuitive space, let's make our way back nice and slowly to seated. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. And let's set an intention for this practice today. Last night was the full moon, which means we're on to a brand new lunar cycle. So it's a nice time to set intentions. So choose something potent, something springtime. And then once that intention is set, simply release your hands down to the mat. We're going to walk those hands forward and sweep our feet around behind us. Make your way into tabletop. So wrists come beneath the shoulders, knees are under the hips, and let's begin to find some movement of the spine. So on your inhale, roll your heart forward, tip your tailbone to the sky. Exhale, coil your belly in and drop the crown of your head. And then inhale, roll it open. And exhale to coil. Now, as always, in this space, you're welcome to stay in cat-cow. If this is perfect, you stay right here. If you'd like to, you're also welcome to move into free-form spinal movement. So maybe that's circles with your hips or your rib cage. Maybe it's stretching from one side to the other or forward and back. Again, whatever helps your body, whatever feels good in this moment. And then find your way back to your tabletop. Draw your knees a little closer together underneath you so that they're centered, so that you feel stable. And let's do our calf stretch. So on your inhale, extend your right leg long behind you and lower the tip of your toe down to the mat. Now, once you've made contact, begin to press into that right heel to stretch out the back of your right calf. Remembering always that you can change this movement, right? You can always come out of it a little bit. You can even find a slow roll into and out of it. Not a bounce, mind you, that's actually not good for muscles, but a slow roll can be done safely. And let's feel that on the other side. Lower your right knee down. Let's feel that on the left. Inhaling, extending the left leg long behind you. Begin to press into your left heel once you've touched down with that toe. Again, just breathing into the stretch, adjusting it so that it works for your body. And let's lower that left knee down. Now, from here, we're going to make our way into forward fold. So you can walk your hands back to stand, or you can step your feet forward, whatever feels better. And let's find a nice, easy forward fold first. Remember, you can always keep your feet pretty wide for forward fold. They do not have to be together. If that creates more space for your body to melt, go ahead and step your feet wide. And then just dangle here for a moment. Try to let your head and your neck relax. Relax your jaw. Let your arms dangle. And if movement would feel nice, remember, you can always rock back and forth. Come to center, to stillness. Bend your knees. Exhale. Roll your way all the way up. Inhale. Rise and open. And exhale. Hands come to heart center. Release your hands down by your sides, and if you're not already at the top of the mat, make your way there for our first round of sun salutations. So once you've found the top of your mat, let's set up a nice strong mountain pose, as always, rooting the feet. And in mountain pose, our feet are parallel, so they're not turned out. They are directly next to each other. And we usually have about a fist and a half to 2 fists distance between them. So there's a little bit of space there. Bring your hands to your belly. Give your belly some love first. And then find that space just beneath your navel where that little triangle of muscles is, and draw them in and up. Feel your tailbone lengthen. Shoulders roll back and down, and palms face forward. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, bow forward over your legs, surrendering. Bend your knees and plant your fingertips so they can come to a set of blocks or onto the mat. On your inhale, step your right foot back to lunge and lower that right knee all the way down to the mat. So let's set up a nice, strong, safe lunge for our first one. So we want the left knee to be directly over the left ankle, and the arms are aligned with that front shin. So either with the fingertips touching the mat or onto a set of blocks. Inhale to look forward. On your exhale, begin to shift back. Your hips draw you back. That left leg starts to straighten out. Your left toes might even come off the mat a little bit. And then inhale forward. Now, as you shift forward, melt your right hip toward the mat. So we're softening. Exhaling, shifting back. Left toes might rise a little bit. Inhale forward to lunge. Melt the right hip. And we just follow this a few more times. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. From here, bring your knees together beneath your hips. Make your way into tabletop, setting your blocks to the side if you see them. Now, from your tabletop, let's find movement. So once again, that's cat-cow, or it's free-form spinal movement, just depending on what your body would feel, is the best fit for the day. Find your way back to your neutral spine in tabletop. Walk your hands one handspan forward and shift your shoulders over your wrists. So from here, let's build a base for our half plank. And in half plank, you want knees, hips, and shoulders to be in one long line. So if you find that you're a little scrunched up here, just walk your hands a little further forward. Now, once you've found your half plank, draw your navel toward your spine so the tailbone stays long. It's kind of reaching toward the knees. Press the earth away so we create lots of space between the shoulder blades. Keep that as you bend your elbows. And those elbow pits stay forward, right? They're facing the front of the room so your elbows shave your sides as you come down to the mat. Once you touch down, walk your toes back, create space, and then bring your fingertips wide. They can come out to either side of you. Begin to roll your shoulders through creative cobra. And we're just going to luxuriate here in these big, beautiful shoulder circles. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop, or if you have one in your practice, you're welcome to take downward facing dog here. Wherever you've landed, find some movement. Bend one knee and then the other. You can shift your shoulders, sway your spine. And then find your way back to a stable position. So we come into stillness. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Remember, multiple steps are fine here. If your back knee is lifted, go ahead and lower it. So from here, we're going to set up that same flowing lunge. So we want to make sure that right knee is directly over the right ankle. We align our hands with that right shin. Maybe we're using blocks here, and we align the blocks with that right shin. Inhale to look forward. And exhale, shift it back. Straightening out that right leg. Inhaling forward to lunge. And remember, your right toes might come off the mat a little bit, and that's totally okay if they do. And remember, as you come forward, you want to be trying to melt that left hip toward the mat. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together. Surrender right here. Fold. Then bend your knees. Exhale. Roll your way all the way up. Inhale. Rise and open. Exhale. Hands come to heart center. Check in with your Tadasana, with your mountain pose. If you need to adjust it or step your feet back toward each other, go ahead and do so. Then on your inhale, find the rise. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, plant your fingertips. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge and lower your left knee down. So let's take this flowing lunge a little deeper this time. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, shift back. This time, consciously allow those right toes to rise. Sink back a little further and get that deeper stretch. Inhale forward to lunge, melting the left hip. And exhaling, shifting back. Remember, you can also walk your hands back here if that helps you get a deeper stretch. Inhale all the way forward to lunge. Set your blocks to the side if you're using them and find tabletop. From here, walk your hands. One hand span forward, shoulders over the wrists, finding half plank again, or yogi's choice. If you would like to turn up the heat a little bit, you can turn your toes under to lift your knees. Wherever you are, that core is nice and strong. We're pushing the earth away, keeping our shoulders nice and open. Bend your elbows and float your way down to the mat. Once you've touched down, walk your toes back. Fingertips are wide again, creative cobra. Big, beautiful, fluid shoulder circles. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, wherever you happen to land is perfect. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. Lower your right knee down to the mat. Now, as always, we want to check in, make sure that this is aligned safely so that left knee is directly over the left ankle. And let's take that flowing lunge a little deeper. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back. This time, let those left toes rise. Remember, you can walk your hands back if you'd like to. Excuse me. Inhale, forward to lunge. And exhale, shifting back. Inhaling forward. Just follow your breath. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. Turn your right toes under to lift that back knee. Look forward and step together and fold. Soften. Find a little movement if that would feel good. You can rock. You can turn your head from side to side. Move your jaw. Wiggle your fingers. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees. Exhale. Roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale. Rise and open. Exhale. Hands towards center. Check in with your mountain pose. Readjust if you need to. Now this time we're going to bring our hands to our hips. On your exhale, begin to sink your hips toward your heels. So we're coming down for fierce pose. This is sometimes called Surya B, which is another way of coming into a sun salutation. So we're going to sink down, and what I'd like you to do is check your tailbone. So we're going to tip all the way back, and then curl all the way under, and then find about halfway. So your core is engaged, your tailbone is nice and long. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, sink 1 more inch. Inhaling, pulsing up a little bit. Exhaling to sink, keeping that tailbone long. 1 more time, inhale. And on this exhale, we're gonna bow forward, folding over the legs. Nice. Inhale, step your right foot back to lunge. Lower that right knee down to the mat. Walk your hands up your left knee. So one of the themes today is balance, and asymmetrical places like this are great for working on stability. If you notice that this is already challenging, grab a block and bring it to your right hip. That way that you've got somewhere to touch down just in case. So let's find a little pulse right here. Inhale, lifting up and out. Exhale, sinking deeply into that left knee. We stretch the right hip toward the mat. Inhaling to lift. and release. Both hands come down to the mat. Find your tabletop. Walk your hands forward. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Half plank or full, yogi's choice. We're going to do a little push-up series right here. So on your exhale, bend your elbows 1 inch. Inhaling back up to plank or half plank. Exhale 2 inches. Inhaling back up. This time we're going to exhale, come halfway down and hover. Oh, Amber, that's so helpful. And release. Roll it all the way down to the mat. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest your head and rock your hips from side to side. Go away. And then press your way back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. Lower that left knee down if it's not already on the mat. And let's walk the hands up the right knee. So same option on this side. If this feels unstable, just put a little block right by your left hip. All right, let's find the pulse. Inhale, lift up and out. Exhale, sink into that right knee. Inhaling. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together and fold, soften. Again, find a little movement here if that would feel nice. Now look down at your feet. If they're not already in mountain pose, just bring them a little closer together because we're going to get out of this one the same way we got into it. So what I'd like you to do is bend your knees and sink your hips toward your heels. Hands come to the hips. Find that long tailbone. Now on your inhale, we sweep the hands to the sky, fierce pose. Inhaling, pulsing up. Exhaling, sink those hips 1 more inch. Inhaling, pulse. Exhaling. 1 more time. On this inhale, we come to standing. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Perfect. Last time through our opening salutation. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, sink your hips toward your heels. Bring your hands to your hips, just checking with that tailbone. We're going to do 3 pulses right here. Sweep your hands to the sky. Inhale. And exhaling, sinking. And on this exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, plant your fingertips onto the mat or onto your blocks. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge. Lower that left knee down. Walk your hands up your right knee. So once again, if this feels unstable, add a block. We're going to add some arms and a little more movement this time. Remember, you can always just stay in pulse if that becomes too much. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips forward and up. Exhale, shift back, right toes rise. Now your hands might come down to the mat or they might sweep behind you. Inhaling, opening. And exhaling, shifting back, right toes rise. Inhale. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Tabletop. So from tabletop, walk your hands forward, shoulders over the wrists. Yogi's choice here, half plank or full. I would like your slowest chaturanga. Try to let that slow yoga push-up take more than 1 breath. And then once you touch all the way down, Walk your toes back and fingertips are wide. Roll one shoulder and then the other. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. Lower your right knee down to the mat. Walk your hands up your left knee. Okay, so same choices this side. Remember, you can always grab a block and place it by your right hip for stability. Option 1 is pulsing right here, just stretching that hip. Option 2 is the full expression with arms and shifting the hips. If you're going that route, inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, shift back, left toes rise, hands touch down or sweep behind. Inhale forward. And exhale, shifting back. Inhaling forward. And this next inhale, we sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your right toes under, lift your back knee, look forward and step together. And soften, surrender, find ease right here. Rock from side to side if that would feel good. Nice lunar pause, relaxing your jaw, the back of your head and your neck. And come to stillness at the center. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. And exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands down by your side. We're going to make our way all the way down to the mat for core cultivation. And let's start today in a V seat. So we're getting ready for boat pose, or we're in the preparatory poses for boat pose. So when we're setting up a V seat, we want to have our feet firmly planted, nice deep bend in the knees, and we want to be sitting forward on our sits bones so that it's easy to have a nice straight spine. So if you're kind of rounded here, just scoot your hips back a little bit further. So once you're set and you've made your way, inhale, lengthen your spine, sit nice and tall. Bring your fingertips behind the nooks of your knees, and on your exhale, begin to hinge back. Inhaling forward. And exhaling back. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward. Bow over your legs, rock from side to side. Let it go. All right, let's set that one up one more time. Make your way back to your base for boat pose. Once again, engaging that core, spine is long, breastbone is lifted. Yogi's choice this time. Fingertips behind the nooks of the knees, or they can be floated out in front of you. Either way, the movement is the same. On your exhale, shift back, keeping your spine nice and long. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhaling back. And on this next inhale, fold forward, let it go. Rock from side to side. And while we're down here, let's do a supported hip opener. So I'd like you to come all the way down, rolling onto your back. Start by giving yourself a little love right here. Rock from side to side. Massage your back and your lower back. If it would feel good, you can draw big circles with your knees and really get into the back of those hips. And then come to stillness at the center. Relax your arms down to the mat, palms face down. Now draw your navel toward your spine. We don't need like a huge tuck here, but we do need a little bit of protection for the back. So we want to keep our core engaged the whole time. On your next inhale, open one knee out to the side, around, and through. So just drawing big circles with one of your knees, doesn't matter which one. And just check periodically to make sure your stomach is still protecting you, still keeping your lower back from pulling up off the mat. All right, let's feel that on the other side. Switch legs, opening that other knee out to the side and down and around and through. Big circles right here. Remembering that slight popping noises are normal. As long as there's no pain, everything's okay. And come back to center. We're going to rock our way forward to seated and then all the way up to standing. So go ahead and make your way there. I'm going to adjust my camera while you do so. And we're going to do a little bit of balance work for this first part of class. So if you know that balance work is already a challenge for you, I invite you to find a surface near you, the back of a chair or a little shelf like I'm using right here, that can just be your safety, just in case you feel like you're going to tip. Okay, so let's start with a nice strong mountain pose. We want to feel our feet rooted down to the earth. Engage your belly. So draw those muscles in and up. Tailbone is long. By keeping our abdominal muscles engaged, that actually helps with our balance. Kind of keeps us all nice and locked in. Shift your weight all the way over to the right side. So we're going to root our weight right down into that right foot. Keeping the stomach nice and strong, bend your left knee and let the toe rest on the mat. So we'll start here with just drawing big circles out to the side, back and around and through. Very similar to the motion we just did with our knee. Now, you can keep that toe down. If all is well, you're welcome to put a deeper bend in the knee and find hip mandalas. You can do whatever you'd like with your hands to help you feel balanced. And release. Let's lower that left leg down, wiggle it out. We're going to feel it on the left-hand side. So let's root into that left foot. Again, feeling a strong belly, strong core. Come to the toe of your right foot, and we'll begin finding those circles out to the side, back, around, and through. Now, your balance is going to be different on one side than the other because bodies are asymmetrical, because the gods think they are hilarious. It's my personal theory. So this is going to be easier on one side than the other. Depending upon how you're feeling, maybe you bend that right knee and you find some bigger circles, some more movement in your hip mandalas. And let's lower that right leg down and wiggle it out. Okay, so we're going to set up for tree pose today. So what I'd like you to do is root that right foot again, feeling your energy, all rooting down on that right side, strong core, open heart. Come to the toe of your left foot. Before we lift that foot, let's turn the knee out to the side. So in tree pose, we want to keep our hips nice and open. So just notice how this feels. You want to maintain this feeling no matter where you put your foot. So lots of choices. You can leave your toe on the mat and just rest your heel on your right leg. You can also bring your foot to your calf if that would work for you. That's a nice low balance, right? For a few people, maybe you take that left foot and you bring it to the inner thigh. The one place you don't want to put your foot is directly on the knee joint and apply pressure there, so it's either above or below the knee. Once you've found your balance point, bring your hands to your heart, or one hand to your heart and one on your supportive object, and just breathe. If it's open to you, you're welcome to add some branches, sweeping your fingertips to the sky. There are so many options you can pretend to be right now. It seems like everything's in flower. I think I'm going to be a redbud today. And one last option while we're here, if you'd like to add a little more challenge, we can add a little arm vinyasa. So we root our hands down on the exhale. Inhaling, sweeping the hands to the sky. And exhaling, rooting down. Right, and all of these are just options. This is yoga salad bar stuff. It depends on where your practice is this morning. Balance changes from day to day. It's actually harder in spring and fall when the winds are strong, which is part of why we do it. And with control, let's step that left foot down and wiggle it out. All right, other side. So we're going to root that left foot. Same thing, build that strong base, strong core. Weight is going down on the left. Come to the toe of your right foot, and first things first, open it out to the side. Feel that open hip. Now think about where you'd like to place your right foot. So maybe that heel comes in and it just rests against your leg and your toe stays touching the mat. Maybe your foot comes to the calf. Maybe for a couple people, you place your right foot to your left inner thigh. Again, above or below the knee, not on it, okay? Bring your hands to your heart once you've found your balance. Or again, one hand to the heart, one hand to a supportive object. Find a few breaths right here. Now stay here or add some branches. And again, you can stay right here, having your branches extended, or you can add movement. To do that, exhale, lower your hands down, and inhale to rise. And with control on this exhale, everything comes down. Wiggle it out. Excellent work. So from here, let's add a little shoulder stretch in, since we got a request for one of those in the beginning of class. So what I'd like you to do is take your right arm over, left arm under, find your shoulders, lower your elbows down, and we're going to roll our shoulders down to their lowest point. On your inhale, lift your elbows. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to lift. Now you can stay right here. Or if you would like, you're welcome to move into eagle arms. The back of the arms come together. Maybe you find that thumb. On your inhale, movement is the same, lifting and then lowering. And just getting that nice stretch right between the shoulder blades. And release, roll it out, wiggle. And we're going to feel that on the other side. So left arm over, right arm under. Start by finding your shoulders. Elbows are low, shoulders are rolled back and down. On your inhale, lift your elbows. And exhale to lower. So again, yogi's choice, stay here with your hands on your shoulders or find your eagle arms. If you found the arms, the movement is the same. And all that eagle arms do for this position is it gets us a slightly deeper stretch between the shoulder blades. So there's no right or wrong here. Both of those work really well. And release. Sweep your hands down, wiggle it out a little bit. All right, on your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, sweep them behind you. Now interlace your fingers. Before we stretch across the chest, we're going to engage the core so our belly is nice and strong, tailbone is long. On your next inhale, lift your breastbone as you straighten your arms, getting that nice stretch across the chest and shoulders. Exhale, softening a little bit. Inhaling again, belly, then heart, then arms. Exhale one more time, core, heart, extension. And release. So from here, let's step our right foot forward. Now, rather than a warrior position here, we're going to set up for pyramid pose. So both feet are firmly planted and they are parallel. They're facing the exact same direction. From here, inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Pour over your right leg. Both hands can come down. They can land on your shin or your thigh. Draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. With every inhale, create length along your spine. Every exhale, just soften into that space you've created. So we're feeling a little bit of a wave pattern in our bodies here. From here, let's roll our way all the way back up to standing. Now, from here, let's transition to a warrior one or high lunge foot position. So we're going to start warrior one first. Step your left foot back a little bit more. Now, that left foot can begin to dial out to the side a little bit, maybe a 45-degree angle. Bend your right knee. Notice how this feels in your body. This might be enough asymmetrical balance work for you for the day. If you'd like to push your boundaries a little further, pivot on your back foot so that it's in tippy toe. So this is a high lunge foot position versus a warrior one foot position. If you're in tippy toe, that's high lunge. So once you've found your base position, of course, we're going to make it more difficult by adding movement. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, sweep behind you. Inhale and exhale. On this next exhale, we're going to interlace our fingers. Engage your core, shoulders roll back and down. On this inhale, lift from behind your heart. Exhaling, softening a little bit, sinking deeper in that right knee. Inhaling, core, lifting the heart, pulsing up. Exhaling, sinking. And release. Step your left foot in to meet your right. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Check back in with your intention for practice. So let's set that same sequence up on the other side. We're going to step that right foot back about a pace. Oh, sorry, Lily. She was on my yoga mat. And we're going to set up that wonderful parallel pose with the left foot forward. Hips are facing forward, heart is forward, very walk like an Egyptian sort of place to be. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, pour forward over that left leg. Bring your hands to wherever they land comfortably, might be the shin or the thigh. Draw your left hip back and your right hip forward, and let's begin to find that wave pattern breath. So inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling to soften. And then roll your way all the way back up to standing. Let's begin to challenge our balance a little more. We're going to step that right foot back further as we bend the left knee. So again, we'll start with warrior 1 foot position. So that right foot is dialed out to the side, maybe 45 degrees or so. Maybe you stay right here if this is enough instability, if this is already challenging. Maybe you pivot on your right foot and come to tippy toe position. So this is high lunge foot position. So once you've found your base pose, on your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, sweep behind you. On this next exhale, interlace. Strengthen your belly first. Inhale, lift your heart as you lengthen your arms. Exhaling, softening, sinking down. Inhaling, belly, heart, arms. Exhale. Again, pulsing to open. One more time. Exhaling and step together. Hands to your heart. Notice how you feel. Notice what's different. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Find your hands coming to your thighs or to your shins. We're going to roll our shoulders back and down and press the hips away. Inhaling, lengthening the spine and stretching out those hamstrings. Exhale, soften. Inhale, halfway rise. Again, lengthening your spine. Exhale to soften. One more time. Nice flat back, that nice deep stretch. And exhale. From here, simply make your way all the way down to the mat, coming to seated in whatever way works best for you. So from seated, draw your left heel in. We're going to extend that right leg nice and long. Turn your heart to face your right foot. On your inhale, create plenty of length. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, the goal is not to grab the foot. It's to lengthen your spine and get a nice deep stretch. So your hands can land wherever. They can be your shin, your thigh, the mat. Maybe a couple people do grab the foot. On your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let your heart and your toes reach toward each other. Inhaling, lengthening. And exhale. And then nice and gently walk your hands up. Let's switch it out. So we're going to tuck that right heel in. Left leg extends long. Hello, cat. Turn your heart to face your left foot. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhaling, folding forward. And again, there's no right place for the hands to touch. You can land on your shin, your thigh, the foot. Inhale, create length. Exhaling to soften. Gently roll your way all the way back up to seated. From here, we're going to roll down onto our backs. Draw your knees into your chest as you come down to the mat and rock from side to side. Massage your back. Come to stillness at the center. Open your arms out to either side and drop your knees off to the right-hand side. You can turn your head to the left, or you can find a slow rocking motion with the head. Just turning gently from side to side. That can sometimes help a little bit with neck and shoulder tension. But most importantly here, try to let the earth support you. Try to let your knees, your feet, your legs, your arms, everything just relax. Just let the floor hold you. On your next inhale, draw your knees back to center. Let's feel that twist on the other side. Drop your knees off to the left-hand side and turn your head to look to the right. Or again, find that gentle rocking motion. Just slowly turning your head from side to side. Surrendering your body to the earth, letting it hold you. And then on your next inhale, draw your knees back to center. Now, if there is any additional movement, any stretch, any asana, anything you would like to feel, take a moment to honor that request in your body. So it might be a fold or another twist. It might be an inversion or a back bend. Whatever would feel really nice, whatever your body's asking for, that's what goes right here. And then as you are ready, begin to make your way toward your Shavasana. Remembering, of course, that there are lots of options, right? So we can do traditional Shavasana, lying flat on the back. Heels are wide, toes falling out to either side, shoulders are relaxed, palms face the sky. If this doesn't feel super comfortable in your body, if your lower back's pulling off the mat, just bend your knees. Keeping your feet wide, let your knees fall together at the center. You are, of course, also welcome to take supine goddess pose here. You can take child's pose. And as always, seated meditation is an option. What's most important is that you find a position that works for your body to rest and integrate the benefits of your practice. Once you have found that position for your body, relax. Consciously soften all of the places where your body is touching the mat or the floor. Just let them become a little bit less distinct. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. Simply let go and float. Allow your breath to create space within your body. And begin to find some little movements of your fingertips and your toes, just bringing you back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away and reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in, full body stretch. And then exhale, draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way all the way over onto your right side and curl into the posture of the sleeping child. No tension here, just rest. Take a moment to breathe in whatever you most need from your practice today, whether that's focus or strength or patience or peace. And then whenever you are ready and you feel your practice is complete, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We're going to close our practice this morning with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Let me scoot up and close class down.